Well, hello there. My name is Doug Meadows. I'm the founder, visionary, and hero maker here at David Douglas Diamonds, and I just wanted to welcome you to a century of luxury and legacy as we continue our journey through celebrating our 100 years of a family of jewelers. And this week is the 5th of July. Yesterday was the 4th of July, where America celebrated its 250th anniversary as we celebrate our 100 years of a legacy in the jewelry industry. And it brings me back to Detroit in a weird way, as I will explain here soon. But one of the things I wanted to do was take you on a journey. When my grandfather first, as we celebrate America, it just really makes me think about his journey coming from England to Canada and then on down to Detroit here, because I am back at the Metropolitan Building where my grandfather started his business in Detroit, downtown Detroit, which is now a beautiful hotel. As I've been reflecting on America's 250 years and just thinking about all that my family has been through to get me to being a third generation jeweler and my son being a fourth generation jeweler, just all the different things that had to work out for each generation to make this a reality. And so a couple things I wanted to do today was, one, to take you on a journey from the Metropolitan Building here, where my grandfather started, but it was only here for a short period of time. I'm not really sure how long, 2-3 years. And then from here, we travel on down the street, and we're going to take a walk on down the street and to where he ended up spending the majority of his business career, was down at the Michigan Theater Building, which was about 5, maybe 6 blocks down the street here. But as we travel down the street, it just, I don't know, it's been really interesting for me to, one, discover this Metropolitan Building, because my whole life I'd never knew, one, it existed or that he started here. And to discover that was really interesting. But as we continue to walk down the street, I don't know what it looked like 100 years ago. But, there's as we walk down the street, I don't think we can see it from here, but maybe a block away is a beautiful park. Kind of a big circle area, but there had to be a reason, and I'm not sure what that reason is, because this building, the Metropolitan Building, was designed for jewelers, but the majority of my memories are the Michigan Theater Building that we're walking down towards, and in that Michigan Theater Building were a lot of jewelers, and so I don't know if, like with a lot of industries where that hub or that center of business moved or changed, and he decided to go where the business was at, or if rent was an issue, or what caused it. I don't know. I can only guess, but. The Michigan Theater Building, I've talked about it in episodes before, but as a little kid, it just gave me a lot of memories. And, so what can 4 or 5 blocks make a difference in your business? I don't know. I took our business and moved it a mile down the street, and it revolutionized our business, going from a small little tiny service center to a thriving retail, bridal focused jewelry store, just 1 mile. what a difference it made. So I'm sure for my grandfather that there was business decisions behind it that gravitated towards it, but also many other thoughts to it. But I don't know, it's the other thing, the reason I'm here in Detroit or in Michigan is, 7 years ago, a little over 7 years ago, we lost my dad, and my stepmom had him cremated and put in the urn. One of my brothers had it for a while, and then somehow it ended up in my aunt's possession up here in Michigan. My aunt is actually the last standing matriarch, I guess you might call it. Her mom and dad are both passed. All of her siblings have passed, and she's the last one standing. And years ago, they lived here in Detroit. She had lived with my grandmother for her whole life, pretty much, other than different times where she had traveled or maybe spent some time abroad. But it's been a long time ago that my grandmother passed away, and I think at that time when my grandmother passed away, she decided to, they moved from Detroit out to Howell, or really Pinckney, out past Howell into a little town called Pinckney. And she ended up buying a cemetery lot for her and her mom and all her siblings. I'm not sure where my grandfather's actually buried. I know he passed away in Ocala, Florida, so I don't know if he's in a somewhere down there or if he's buried up here. But anyways, my aunt had bought enough parcels for all of her siblings and her mom, and so my Uncle Gene was one of the first. Well, my grandmother was actually the first to pass away and be buried there, and now my Uncle Gene passed away many years ago, and he's buried there. And now my dad passed away 7 years ago, living in an urn in my aunt's closet. Recently, we had my Uncle Art pass away, and then his wife, Jan, just passed away this year also. And so my cousin Julie, which are her parents are Art and Jan, she decided to come up to Michigan and go ahead and finish out everything and have her mom and dad buried. And she just invited us to participate and just said, maybe it's time for us to put our dad in the ground too. And so we decided that tomorrow will be the day that we put the rest of the family, other than my Aunt Phyllis, to rest. And so that's what brings me up here this time. 7 years ago, when we had kind of a memorial service for my dad, I put together a little video, and I'm going to throw a link down in the description if you have any interest in looking at silly family pictures, which probably would mean nothing to anybody but family, but I'll put it in there anyways. I think the coolest part of the whole video is the last probably 60 seconds of the video. So if you want to fast forward to the very end of it, my dad, he was a character. He, in his retirement age, in his 80s, he had like a three-wheel low-riding bicycle, and he built a tower on the back of it for advertising. And so he started selling advertising because he would ride that bike everywhere in town. So he, and it's just a video of him riding off in this bicycle. Some lady in town just loved him to death and had to capture this and put it up on Facebook. And so we grabbed that. And so, I don't know, it's just really special, that little video of the impact that my dad had on everybody that he touched. Everybody just loved my dad, and he had a good rapport with everybody, and what a legacy he has left us. And it's funny, as I reflect back, I remember in high school trying to decide what my next steps were going to be in life, whether to go to college. My dad really encouraged me to go to college, but he really didn't want me to get into this industry. He wanted me to stay far away from the jewelry industry. And I'm glad me and my brother did not listen, and that we stuck it out. It definitely had its challenges and things, but it definitely has had its rewards, and I have truly enjoyed being a part of the jewelry industry, being a part of so many people's lives. It's been great. So, but I hope you enjoyed the little travel down the street, down to the Michigan Theater Building, and as we take a look at that Michigan Theater Building, it's been on the verge of being closed and different things, and I hope someone, as I look at it today, it's been slightly restored, at least the bottom level of it. When I came by here last year, they had barriers up and different things because things were falling from the upper floors onto the street, and they had to put some protection up. So apparently they have fixed it up just a little bit. I don't know the fate of this building. It would be cool if they restored it similar to what they did with this Metropolitan Building, but who knows. But anyways, I just wanted to, again, just thank you for coming along this journey with me. Again, I get to the end of these things, and I just don't know really how to close it out. But I know I'll be back next week with another story, another episode, or another adventure. I think I'm home for a little bit. I've been traveling a lot lately, which has been great. I've been really enjoyed it, being able to be exposed to a variety of different things. But until next week, we'll see you then. Thanks. Bye.